games, we blew 14-0 leads and 19-3 leads. Now, when you have really, really young teams comprehensively, it's very difficult to have great leadership, obviously, because even though a lot of these guys are talented, they haven't really earned a standing in the program yet, in order to do that. So the leadership has to come from the coaches. And our team was soft this year. And what I mean by soft is, I don't mean these guys, you look at Michigan's team on the field looks like every other upper level, elite level program in the country. It looks like an NFL farm team. I don't mean physically. I mean mentally. I mean in terms of culture. Every time somebody else, we had some adversity. The rain against Michigan State, Ohio State coming back, South Carolina gets one turnover. We're going to have mistakes. The problem is we compounded our mistakes against South Carolina, and instead of just, okay, well, they got their touchdown, now let's go ahead and set, a tone here and take care of this. They let these things snowball. They did it against Ohio State. They did it against Michigan State. And there's a lack of overcoming of adversity in the program, and that's Brady Hoke era level stuff. And, Jim came in right away and dealt with that and got rid of that right away. And it's kind of rearing its ugly head again. And I think some of that can go away by the development of a real quarterback. Jake Rudock statistically wasn't that great at Michigan until the last 4 or 5 games of the year, but he was always a very good leader at Iowa and was a guy that could command the respect of the huddle and did that, which really helped Jim establish himself his first year in Ann Arbor. When you have quarterback roulette like we do, and it's injuries and the like, it's really hard to do that. It's really hard to have a great team when the quarterback's not, he doesn't have to be your best player, but if he's not looked at as a leader of men, it's really hard to have a great team. And we didn't have that this year. And now it remains to be seen, because we're kind of set in terms of personnel everywhere on the field next year. We're going to have some competition at tackle spots on the offensive line, but we have recruited very well there. And I think the interior of our offensive line is going to be the best it's been at Michigan in several years. Now the question becomes, who's the field general? Because, you're going to be in a league next season with a lot of teams that physically can line up and match up with you. And who you have at quarterback. You look at the way Alex Hornibrook arrived in that Orange Bowl, where Miami was up 14-3, and Wisconsin took a punch in the mouth and came right back. You look at the way Dwayne Haskins came off the bench and won that game for Ohio State against us in the Big House. Brian Lewerke has really established himself as the starting quarterback at Michigan State. I think Trace McSorley will be the all Big Ten quarterback going into next season at Penn State. So the question now for Michigan is, it doesn't, even if you can physically dominate teams at other spots on the field. I think I read Tim May from the Columbus Dispatch said after the Michigan-Ohio State game that Michigan was better than Ohio State at 21 out of 22 positions on the field, except for quarterback. Well, that tells you the difference. We can't give away 7 to 10 points a game at the most important position on the field. And so I know you're going to ask me, what do I think about next season? I can't give you an answer until I know what happens with Shea Patterson.
Okay.
If he's eligible, I think that stabilizes some of that. If he's not, then I think we will have a wide-open quarterback competition with Brandon Peters trying to fend off some youngsters like Dylan McCaffrey and Joe Milton